All right, so now that we know how to add fractions, we're going to talk about how to add mixed numbers. So we'll start with something simple, like 1 1/3 plus 2 2/3. So just like with adding fractions, the first thing we have to look for are our denominators. And we can easily see that we already have a common denominator of 3. So now that I've got a common denominator, I can go ahead and add my whole numbers. So 1 plus 2 is 3. My denominator stays the same. And now I'm going to add my numerators. 1 plus 2 is 3. Now remember that this fraction right here means 3 divided by 3, which is 1. So now I'm going to add my whole number 3 plus my 1, and my final answer for that problem would be 4. All right, if we try another one, let's try 1 1/5 plus 2 3/10. So the first thing we have to look for is a common denominator. Well, right now my denominators are 5 and 10. Now you could come over here and make a division ladder for 5 and 10. 5 divided by 5 is 1, and 10 divided by 5 is 2. And then you would go back and highlight your L, and you would multiply 5 times 1 to get 5, and 5 times 2 to get 10. So now you know your least common multiple for 5 and 10 is 10. Your least common multiple now becomes your least common denominator. So we're going to use 10 for this problem. So now I have to rewrite my 1 1/5. So what I'm going to do up here, I'm going to multiply 5 times 2 and 1 times 2. Remember, that's called using the property of 1. So my whole number stays the same. My 5 times 2 is 10. My numerators, 1 times 2 is 2. Now, since my second number already has a denominator of 10, that denominator is going to, or that whole fraction is going to stay the same. Now that I have my common denominators, I am ready to add. All right, so I'm going to add my whole numbers. So 1 plus 2 is 3. Your denominator always stays the same when you're adding. You never add the denominators. The only thing you add are the whole numbers and the numerators. 2 plus 3 is 5. Now we should immediately recognize something with our fraction, that 5 tenths is not in simplest form. And we should know the greatest common factor of 5 and 10 is 5. So I'm going to put this fraction in simplest form. So my whole number is going to stay the same. Now I'm going to divide 5 by 5, which is 1. And I'm going to divide 10 by 5, which is 2. So your final answer for this problem would be 3 1/2.